We got ablative absolute, right? And then inside of it, we got a prepositional phrase. So we got with the war, so, right? With the wars having been finished through the whole world, Octavian Augustus returned to Rome. Okay, look, see how this doesn't have a preposition there? Why not? It's accusative placed to which, right? Okay, he returned to Rome. And he was made consul which he was, I think it's like which he was made consul in his 20th duodecim, in his 12th year. That doesn't make sense. It's not for 12 years, because that would be accusative. In his 12th year, that's what it says. Okay, from this, right, he ruled, or he held, or he alone held the Republic for 44 years. So 44 years. Which is a long time, right? Considering, the consuls of the Republic, their term was what? 1 year. Okay, so you went from 1 year, fought a bunch of civil wars. Even if you were a dictator, you would only be there for 6 months. And he ruled it alone for 44 years. What does that say about Augustus?
He's a greedy boy.
I mean, he could be a greedy boy. Yeah, he was a fair ruler. Like, they didn't overthrow him, right? Okay, so we got before him, right? Before this, he had held, right? Like, he had ruled with Antony and Lepidus for 12 years. Okay, so we got like 44 plus 12, so we're at 56 years here. Oh, well, that's what the next sentence tells us. And so, from the beginning of his rule all the way to the end was 56 years.
That's a long time.
Yep. Okay, moreover, right, he died in his, 76th year, right? By a common death. Why does Eutropius tell us that? He wasn't assassinated, right? He wasn't assassinated. There was no coup. There was no, poison, right? No snake. No sword. Just dead. Okay, so he died. Moreover, he died in his 76th year by common death in the town Atella in Campania. So this is locative. That's like the region. So in the town Atella in Campania. Okay. Then we got what's Sepultus est? He was buried in Rome on the Campus Martius. Why is that unusual? Well, do Romans bury people inside the city? No. Who was the first person to be buried inside the city? Julius Caesar, right? Why did they bury him inside the city? Maybe because he was a war hero. Maybe they regretted stabbing him. Like, he was a really good guy. He just, got too big for his britches, and so they stabbed him. Multiple times. But this dude, in fact, if you go to Rome, you can go visit what's called the Mausoleum of Augustus. It's creepy as hell going inside there. It really is. And so, what? Okay, so we got in the Campus Martius in Rome, a man who, right, was thought not undeservedly from the greatest part similar, to a god. So this similus right here takes the dative as its object. That's why Deo is dative. So, a man who, not undeservedly, was thought, not undeservedly, from the greatest part, was thought similar to a god. So they deified him, right? And in fact, that created a whole cult, for lack of a better term, of emperor worship. Okay, so the Romans didn't really care if you worshipped your own gods too, as long as you worshipped their gods, right? And so, at this point, and their emperors. So they had these guys called the Augustales, who were emperor worshippers of the dead Augustus. Pretty wild. Okay, now we're going to brag about Augustus here. Okay, for there was not easily, this is an adverb, whoops. It was not easily anyone was either more luckier in wars, or what? More moderate in peace. And then this right here is an ablative of comparison, right? Than him. So let me go back to the beginning. So there was not easily anyone either more lucky in war nor more moderate in peace than him. That's some pretty high praise. What did I do? What? I put a triangle because it's either or. Or more moderate in peace. So Augustus did a lot of reforms, infrastructure building and law code reforms to kind of bring back stability to the Roman government and to the Roman family, with great success. Okay, so we got in his 44 years, right, in which alone he held the power, right? He lived most civilly, right? Okay, now it's going to use these superlatives to show he was your bro. most freely, or most, what do you say? Yeah, I guess freely. Among all. Like, so he was a man of the people. Most faithful among his friends. Whom, talking about his friends, he, what's a Wexit? What? Carried out? What? Oh, whom he raised up in such honors. That he almost made them equal to his own, what's vestigio? Yeah, to his own greatness. So in other words, he wasn't just a leader, right? He was a great friend, and he helped his friends out. That's really the sign of a great leader, is that you don't have to just be in charge, but you help others be great too, right? Okay, so we got in no time before him. Did Roman things flourish? Yeah, more greatly. This is like a comparative adverb. Okay, 4, right? With the what?
With the Civil War.
Yeah, with the Civil Wars. What'd you say? Okay, with Civil Wars having been excluded. Like, in which he was unconquered. I think it's kind of interesting. He says, they don't say that he was a victor, they said he was unconquered. Yeah, he added to the Roman Empire Egypt, yeah, Cantabria, yeah, all these places. Dalmatia, often before having been conquered, but almost, almost, then subdued. What does that mean? Like he made them not ever able to like come back to the Romans again, right? Okay, so he added. Let's see, which part do you want to say? Pannonia, Aquitania, Illyrica, Rhaetia, when the blah 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 blah, in the Alps, right? All of the maritime states of the Pontus. Where's the Pontus? It's like where? Yeah, in the Black Sea. Yep. Among these, the most noble, Bosphorus and Panticapaeum. Then it's he moreover conquered the Dacians in many battles. Okay, so think about, why does he tell us all this stuff in the second paragraph here? Oh, show how successful he was when it talks about how, like, he brought out about the Pax Romana. Remember the Pax Romana? What's that? 300 years of Roman peace, right? Which you would think would be 300 years of, Romans working on Romans and not going and, like, conquering the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, but what the Pax Romana really was 300 years of, no civil wars, while Augustus went out and, like, basically, conquered the rest of the Roman Empire. Which I think is kind of interesting.